Blanchet, the Bloc Quebecois leader, is speaking. His party projected to lose 1/3 of its seats. We'll go back to Louise Martin. My apologies for that, but here's Yves Blanchet in Montreal.
And all of the candidates, really, in an election that was quite unusual, and there will be conversations with the leaders in the coming hours and days. There has already been some contact, and I want to thank the people in my riding, the organization in my riding that ensured my re-election. They did an honorable job. And I also want to thank all the voters in my reading who gave me their confidence again. You can't imagine how touched I am by that support. I also want to thank all the activists of the Bloc Québécois for a campaign that was difficult, that began in a context of considerable anxiety. And I want to thank the staff, the people who man the buses, my wife, Karine, and I have a thought as well for my friend Alain. There's no one who fought harder than Alain. He was always ready to do so. All the other candidates and the other friends that I lost, you know, he was my close friend, Alain, so it's something else to lose him. And I'm sure you can understand that the short term will be devoted to phone calls to all of those individuals who, over the last 5 or 6 years, depending on the case, developed among themselves, between themselves, and I with them, a very, very close friendship. So there are wounds that have to heal, and I will be spending the next hours and days trying to heal. The words that come to mind right now remind me of 2019, humility. An election result, whatever it is, reminds us that it's not up to us to make the decision, and that there are storms that come up and the effects are then felt. So yes, we should be happy because, as I said yesterday, I have the sense that people in the Bloc were able to hold back a wave, and that wasn't an easy thing to accomplish. But at the same time, I think we have to look at that relative success and take it with humility and consider the responsibility that goes with it. So in the coming future, you won't hear any impetuous words from me. But in these results, there is some uncertainty. There's no guarantee of stability when we see such close results which are not even complete. So I think that the key word that the people of Quebec want to hear is stability. Not stability with compromises. That's not in our nature. It's an invitation for the federal parties and ourselves, who are pro-independence, be capable in the face of a be managed by the federal parliament, that we be capable of cooperating efficiently. There's no one in the future who will be able to talk about the threat to a government that probably won't have an absolute majority. So this is really an opportunity to learn to work differently. It is absolutely critical that everyone realize the collective decision that has been made by Canada and Quebec, and that with respect to the threat of facing us with the U.S. President, who again interfered in the middle of the Canadian election and said that Chinese interference was just, you know, shows of friendship. I mean, obviously, together we have to face up to that challenge. Now, this is a mandate that the Quebecers and Canadians have given us to stand up to the Trump style and to put in place a negotiating process. And I think that very quickly we'll be able to arrive at something different than the idea that he is just looking to further his own interests. We're talking about teams that will have to be put together, and we hope that Quebecers, preferably designated by the Quebec government, will be part of. So I have no afterthoughts, but I just again want to offer my cooperation, my collaboration to Mr. Carney's government. Again, not blind or naive collaboration, because the Quebec economy is different from the Ontario economy. So cooperation goes both ways. That means that we will cooperate with them and they will cooperate with us for a certain period of time. In other words, during these negotiations. And that is what the citizens have asked of us. They want us to form a sort of alliance among the parties. So I think we must abstain from trying to score points one against the other over the next little while. We have to show restraint in our partisan comments. I'm not saying this will never happen. Politics being what it is, we have different political styles. We made policy proposals, and they were debated. Perhaps not enough, but they were debated and discussed. So I am inviting Mr. Carney and the Liberal government and all of Parliament to mark a pause in terms of the deepest rifts or differences between us. I'm inviting Mr. Carney's government, in the spirit of healthy collaboration within the Parliament, to pause any kind of bellicose attitude when it comes to the protection of French, or with respect to the protection of the value of state secularism well-rooted in Quebec, and to pause any attitude involving non-respect for Quebec's powers over immigration, and to generally respect Quebec's determination to eliminate areas of tension so that we can main collaboration, which won't always be easy, and the embodiment of financial network. But the fact is that Quebec's economy is much different. So our different universes will have to come together. And there are proposals that we made that should be discussed. You're familiar with them. And we expressed some concern for the economy of Quebec. And those issues will have to be taken into account. So in the coming hours and days, the kind of fog that's still hanging over us with results that are not necessarily clear at this point, we will ask everyone to just step back and observe the developments happening. There are people who have some reflection that is required in the coming days, but we will have to be patient and respectful, and that is absolutely our intent. So thank you to all the voters. We have noted our duty, the duty that this implies for us, while at the same time we must remain who we are until we have the next opportunity to reflect once again on Quebec's capacity to make its own decisions. Thank you.